Welcome to Survivors in Fuego, where we are documenting the wonderful events, the life-changing events of amazing people that are going to share their story of their events that have impacted their lives. But more importantly, we are here to share and celebrate their victories. We have Youre Bottini here, an amazing woman, a woman that I can call my best friend now, whether you like it or not. So Youre, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. This is such an awesome idea. I'm so excited for you.
I'm very, very excited as well. So this project is with the Top Foundation. So we definitely want to go ahead and bring awareness to the community and just celebrate those victories to inspire others. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
You're a wonderful, amazing person. We know that. You're beautiful.
Well, I'm a mother. I have 3 amazing children.
A hero.
19, 17, 14. And I have been really lucky because they are all really, really good kids. So that's my biggest passion in life is my children, my family. My family is my biggest passion. I come from a huge family from Southern California. I have 17 aunts and uncles. And I have 5 brothers and sisters, so family is everything to me, really. And then other than that, I'm an actress. I do commercials, I do theater, I do some film and TV, so I really, really love to share stories and tell, whatever I can. But one thing I don't like is to talk about myself. It's easy to tell other people's stories,
Of course.
When you're telling the story of the children's hour, or you're telling Shakespeare's story, that's great. But when it's your story, it's a little more.
Well, I'm going to retract a little bit. Okay, first you said you're a mom. You have a large family.
Yes.
You must be Latin.
I am Latin.
Because I know my aunts and uncles, we're everywhere.
Yes, my dad is from Mexico, his family, and my mom's family is Spanish-Irish.
Nice. That's a very interesting. We are Spanish, French, and Mexican, and God knows what else.
All the calm, quiet, peaceful nationalities.
It's a great combination.
Yes.
So now you say you're an actress. So those of you may recognize her. I did. Tell us a little bit about that. That's great because that gives me hope. I'm going to finally get that Academy Award.
Yes.
So tell me.
I hope that's what this show does overall for everybody and any person that watches any of the shows, is that if people have dreams, whatever life-changing event happens to them, they make that dream happen. Really, it's like, it can be something so little, not to go too fast forward, but even when people go through hard times, rather than focusing on the hard time, what have you always said? Like, oh, someday I want to make pottery, or someday I want to learn how to play guitar, or someday I want to be an actress. We're going to have a telenovela together.
That's right.
Then you have to do it. My story is I wanted to be an actress when I was younger, but I was always kind of geared away from it. And I went to Berkeley. I was on the women's crew team at Cal, and then I went into sales. I studied psychology, worked at Napa State Mental Hospital for 2 years, and thought, this is a little rough, so let me get out and go into sales. So I worked for Xerox, and I went into pharmaceutical sales, and I moved to Arizona about 9 years ago. And I had stopped working to kind of get my children settled, and I always wanted to try acting again. I had done a little theater, but that was it. So I auditioned locally for Garth Williams' casting class, and then I was kind of discovered in PetSmart, which is a fun little story. And then after that, I'm at it. I'm going back and forth between LA every week. I do some commercials. I do theater still. I'm in a play coming up called Always a Bridesmaid.
Oh, gotta watch
Not to plug it, but
date night.
I play a woman who's been married 3 times, so it should be a lot of fun. And
some of us can relate to that. I'm sure you're going to have an audience just with that alone.
So it's a nice comedy.
I love it.
But yeah, so it's been fun. I'm learning a lot, and every day I'm learning what I could do differently and what I can do to get out there and promote myself. So it's fun.
You've accomplished a lot. As a 40 plus woman, there is hope for me because I have that big dream. Granted, I'm not going to win that Academy Award, or will I? But you've managed to set those goals. And how did you do that? How did you come to that? Tell me how, and tell others how.
Well, I think, like everything, life is about attitude, right? And the only thing standing between you and what you can do is what you tell yourself you can or can't do. So if I told myself, I'm too old, then I wouldn't be trying it, and I wouldn't be having fun.
You are having a lot of fun.
That's the only difference between somebody who does and somebody who doesn't. It's just telling yourself that you can.
So you have that. You make that decision. You plug it in yourself every day. You ignite that little fire, and you keep going. You do have a choice whether to feel, oh, I want to stay in bed and eat bonbons and drink champagne, or, you know, I'm going to go ahead and fulfill my dream.
Right.
That's inspiring.
Right.
Very inspiring. So share more. Tell me.
So, well, talk about inspiring is this show, and
Thank you.
you know, we met through a mutual friend.
Yes.
Through mutual survival stories.
Yes.
And always that's a hard thing to talk about, especially when you go through life comparing yourself to other people's stories. Like maybe your story was bad, but someone's story is worse. And you might feel guilty about your story, or you may feel like you need to do something to make a difference.
Right.
And so, not to go into too many details, but as you know, this summer I was with my family and friends. 16 of us were out to dinner, and I did what we all do today. I stepped outside to take a phone call.
So it's just basically a normal night. You just go ahead and
We're having a blast. Like up until
family
this
time.
moment, we were having such a fun time. And my cousin called, and she was supposed to meet us, so I stepped outside to take her phone call. I couldn't hear her because I was so close. The bouncer and the music behind us was so loud that I just stepped across the parking lot. Of course, completely unaware, on my cell phone, having a great time. And this gal walks by and she starts chirping at me, "You housewife of Newport Beach," something like this, "Look at you," whatever, who knows what she said. And truly, I'm so like trusting, and I think the world is so good. But I just was like, okay, whatever, if that makes you feel better, say what you want.
if you want an autograph, right?
So she kept chirping and chirping at me, and she said, "Are you talking to me?" And so, you know, I'm not talking to you. You can see I'm on the phone. Walk away. If I can teach anybody anything, two things. One, I should have at that moment felt fear. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. And two, I should have run right back to the door. I shouldn't even engaged with that angry woman. She was angry. Well, anyway, next
You
thing I
took
know,
it for granted. You know,
Yeah.
you think you
Yeah, and
believe
you
that
know what?
society's good. You believe that you know there's still good left in the world.
Right.
Right.
And I think, yeah. Well, anyway, so
And it's hard.
I don't even really know what happened. And this is, you know, we see kids today parking their cars and on their cell phone. People don't even know where they are in the mall. You know, we were walking down the street. You don't know who's even near you. You don't even pay attention to people next to you anymore because you're on the cell phone. You don't even say hi to people. In fact, you use the cell phone as a tool not to make friends with people anymore.
You're right.
Well, I got jumped from somebody behind me. I never saw her. And next thing I know, I was being beaten. And
The last thing that you expected.
yeah, and people were walking by, and my jaw got broken, my ribs were broken. I was a mess.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
But I see you and you're amazing.
So some amazing angel literally jumped in the circle and pulled the women off me and carried me back, my flaccid body, back into the bar. Where my poor husband and my sister and my cousins, they didn't even know I had stepped outside. That's how quickly it happened. So, obviously life-changing. I had stitches, I had a broken jaw. I mean, it was life-changing for me. And the truth is, if you ask me, they didn't get caught. They got away. The women were so angry, you could just feel their pain. And the truth is, I really am not being Pollyanna when I say this. What makes me sad is that brought them joy. You know, that something so bad has happened in their life that to beat me up, to beat a total stranger up brings them joy. We're at a place in this world where, God, it's got to change.
It does have to change.
It has to. And it can either change with life-changing events where you make something positive out of it or you make something negative. I could stand on a soapbox and talk about how I was beat up outside this bar and by a gang, and I could. And how they got away and the bartender did nothing and the bouncer did nothing. I could. But gosh, would that change anything? No. And I really want to make a difference. I want to change. So if anything, I could ask myself 100 times, why'd this happen?
Ask yourself why.
Yeah, why me? Why this happened? Why wasn't I smarter? Why was I on my cell phone? Why didn't I tell someone I was going to, ugh. Okay, stop. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that can change is like, this is that moment where I can bring awareness to people, and I can tell them they're fine. You're fine. And I didn't do it alone. I have amazing family, and I have amazing friends, and I say, because I studied psychology at Cal, I knew about a therapy called EDM therapy, which helps people with post-traumatic stress, and it really helped me kind of get over it. And I worked through forgiveness,
Forgiveness, yes, it's key.
It's like a really important thing for me, anyway. And just really, truly living in gratitude that I have so many people who love me and who, when they heard it, were sad and wanted to help me, and they did. And now one more thing, I always wanted to play guitar. I did. And God, you would think I'm way too old, and sometimes I'm wondering if I am, but
Try the
I
cello.
decided as part of my therapy I would learn to play guitar. And so I'm at it, I'm trying. It's super hard, but when I feel like, oh, I'm a little stressed out, or I need to go to a place that brings me peace, I just pick up the guitar and I start fiddling around with it. I can't say playing it yet, but I'm playing.
Well, you're amazing. I know that we've had a few conversations, and I'm guilty of having my pity parties, and I celebrate your victory.
Thank you.
Celebrate the accomplishments.
Yours too. Thank you.
You're amazing, because that day that we spoke, I needed some help. And the few sentences, the few words that you shared with me was okay, reassuring for me. It's going to be okay. Okay, this is another woman that's shared some experiences that I have, and you changed me. I could breathe again.
Thank you.
And this is one of the reasons why we're doing this show, to definitely promote that awareness, to share, to add a more positive vibe, because...
Well, I think it's important because everybody has some kind of a survival story, whether they want to call it a survival or not. Somebody who's been through a bad divorce, people who've survived cancer, somebody who lost their job and got kicked out of their house. It's the difference is how you handle it. And whatever your tragedy was, whatever you've been through, look what you're doing.
Look what you're doing. I see you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're an actress. You're playing guitar.
Well,
you have it all.
I'm dabbling.
And I celebrate you.
Thank you.
We celebrate you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure others that are watching this video, I'm getting goosebumps. They're going to celebrate with you. And I can't thank you enough.
Well,
you truly...
Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, listen.
You're amazing.
The one thing we shared about is
you're amazing.
You can't live in darkness.
Yes.
And nothing survives in darkness. No plants, no life, nothing. And so things need to be brought to the light. And that removes fear.
You're definitely one of my lights, definitely.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you for including me on this.
Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Okay.
One of the things our closing is going to be is we want to go ahead and spread the love.
Okay.
So it's touching the heart and sending a kiss.
Okay. I'm so glad you're going to make me sing.
Love you. Thank you.